Hello everyone and welcome back to Pause Café. I am Sophie and I am so happy you are here with us today.
And I am David. Welcome back everyone. Whether this is your very first time joining us or you have been with us since episode 1, we are truly glad you are here.
That is right. And if you are new here, let me explain what Pause Café is all about. This is a podcast for English learners. We have real, natural conversations, just like two friends sitting together in a cafe. And you practice your English just by listening. No textbooks, no grammar drills, just conversation.
And today's episode is perfect for that. But first, how are you doing? Seriously, we always want to know. Wherever you are in the world right now, whatever kind of day you are having, we hope you can take a few minutes, relax, and enjoy some English with us.
Exactly. Imagine you are sitting across from us right now. There is a lovely warm drink in front of you. Maybe a coffee, maybe a tea, maybe a hot chocolate. The cafe is cozy, the music is soft, and you have nowhere to be for the next 20 minutes.
That sounds perfect to me. Sophie, how has your week been?
Oh, David, actually, my week has been very much connected to today's topic. My neighbor is from Japan, and she invited me for dinner at her house on Tuesday evening. And she cooked this incredible meal. Everything was so beautiful, so carefully prepared, and some of the flavors were completely new to me.
Oh, how wonderful! What did she make?
She made miso soup to start, which I have had before, of course, but hers was different, much richer. And then she made a dish called nikujaga, which is like a Japanese beef and potato stew. Very comforting, very warming. And the rice. David, I do not know what she does to her rice, but it was the best rice I have ever eaten.
I love that. And I love how food brings people together like that. Your neighbor opened her home and shared her culture with you through cooking. That is such a beautiful thing.
It really is, and it made me think, food is so much more than just eating, isn't it? It is culture, it is family, it is identity, it is memory. Which is exactly why we chose it as today's topic.
Today we are talking all about food and eating habits around the world. The things we eat, the way we eat, when we eat, and all the wonderful differences and similarities between cultures.
Yes, and before we get into it, if you are enjoying Pause Café, please take a moment to like this video. It helps so many more people find us. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do it right now. Just press subscribe. It is completely free and it means everything to us.
And if you have a friend, a classmate, or a family member who is learning English, please share this episode with them. You would be doing them a wonderful favor. Okay, let us get into today's topic. David, let me start with a simple question. What is your absolute favorite food in the entire world? Oh, that is not a simple question at all. That is one of the hardest questions a person can ask me. Do I have to choose just one?
Just one. Be brave.
Okay, I'm going to say pasta. Specifically, pasta with a really good tomato sauce. Simple, honest, perfect. There is nothing in the world that comforts me more than a bowl of good pasta.
That is a very solid answer. Mine changes depending on my mood, honestly. But if I had to choose, I think I would say my mother's roast chicken. She makes it on Sundays sometimes, and the smell when you walk into the house is just incredible. The skin is golden and crispy, the inside is tender and juicy, and she always roasts potatoes and vegetables around it, so everything soaks up all the flavor.
You are making me hungry right now.
Good. Okay, so David, I want to start by talking about something I find really fascinating. The way eating habits are so different around the world. Not just what people eat, but everything. When they eat, how much they eat at each meal, whether they eat alone or together, how long meals take.
Yes, this is something I think about a lot actually. Because I have some friends from different countries, and sometimes we go out to eat together, and I realize how different our relationships with food are.
Can you give an example?
Sure, I have a good friend named Carlos who is from Spain. And in Spain, as many of our listeners might know, people eat lunch very late, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then dinner is not until 9 or 10 at night.
Which sounds very late to people from Northern Europe or North America.
Exactly. Where I grew up, Dinner was always around 6 or 6:30 in the evening. So when Carlos first moved here, he found it completely strange that people were eating dinner so early. He said it felt like we were eating dinner at lunchtime.
That is so funny. And the thing is, neither way is wrong. It is just different. In Spain, those late meal times make perfect sense because of the climate, the lifestyle, the tradition of taking a siesta in the afternoon.
Right. The whole day is structured differently.
Exactly. And this brings me to something really interesting, the idea of the main meal of the day. In many countries, like France and Spain and much of Latin America, lunch is actually the most important meal. It is the biggest, the longest, the one where the family comes together.
Whereas in countries like the UK or the United States, dinner, the evening meal, tends to be the main event.
And in some cultures, Japan is a good example, every meal is given equal importance. The presentation, the balance of flavors and nutrients, the care taken with each dish.
I read somewhere that in Japan, there is a concept called ichiju sansai, which means 1 soup and 3 sides. The idea that a balanced meal should have a soup, a main dish, and 2 or 3 smaller side dishes, all carefully balanced for nutrition and flavor.
That is beautiful. It is almost like a philosophy of eating, not just a habit.
Exactly. Food is something thoughtful and intentional, not just fuel.
Now, listeners, I want to ask you something. Think about your own country, your own culture. What does a typical meal look like in your home? Is it a big family gathering? Is it quick and simple? Is there a special meal that everyone sits down for together? Think about it. If you want, you can write it in the comments below. We would absolutely love to read your answers.
Yes, please. Tell us about your food culture. Okay, I want to talk about street food, because I think street food is one of the most exciting parts of food culture around the world.
Oh, I love street food. There is something so wonderful about eating outside, standing up, with food that was made right in front of you.
And street food is often where you find the most authentic, most delicious, most traditional food of a country. Not in expensive restaurants, on the street.
Absolutely. I remember when I visited Mexico City a few years ago. The street food there was extraordinary. Tacos made fresh, right in front of you, with incredible salsas and toppings. I must have eaten about 6 tacos in one afternoon.
6 tacos.
I regret nothing. What is your favorite street food experience?
I think mine was in Thailand. I visited Bangkok about 5 years ago, and the street food markets there are just unbelievable. The smells, the colors, the noise, the energy. I had pad thai from a tiny little stall run by a woman who looked like she had been making pad thai for 40 years, and it was the best thing I have ever eaten. Absolutely extraordinary.
I love that. And do you know what I think is special about street food? It is democratic. Rich or poor, tourist or local, everyone stands in the same queue and eats the same food.
That is a beautiful way to put it. Food as something that belongs to everyone.
Now, let us talk about some vocabulary connected to food, because I think our listeners will find this really useful. David, can you help me explain some words?
Of course.
Okay, first word, flavor. Flavor. Flavor means the taste of something. For example, this soup has a very rich flavor. Or, I love the flavor of fresh mint. Flavor. Try saying it. Flavor.
Good. Next one, texture. Texture. Texture is the way something feels in your mouth when you eat it. Is it soft, crunchy, smooth, chewy? For example, I love the crunchy texture of fresh vegetables. Or, the texture of this bread is very soft and light. Texture.
Great word. Next, savory. Savory. Savory means something that is salty or spicy, not sweet. For example, I prefer savory breakfasts to sweet ones. Or, this dish has a wonderful savory flavor. Savory. The opposite would be sweet.
And one more portion. Portion. A portion is the amount of food you are given or that you serve yourself. For example, the portions at that restaurant were enormous. Or, I only wanted a small portion of dessert. Portion. This word comes up a lot when people talk about eating habits in different countries.
Yes, because portion sizes are so different around the world. In the United States, for example, portions in restaurants tend to be very large. You often get much more food than one person can eat.
Whereas in countries like Japan or France, portions are often smaller, but the quality and the experience of eating is prioritized more.
Right. It is not about quantity, it is about quality and enjoyment.
There is actually a concept in France called, and our French listeners will know this, eating with all your senses. You do not just taste the food, you look at it, you smell it, you think about where it came from. Eating as a full experience.
I love that, and it connects to something that I think is really important, the idea of eating slowly. In many cultures, especially in Southern Europe and parts of Asia, meals are long. They are social events. You sit down, you talk, you enjoy each dish, you rest between courses.
Whereas in a lot of modern, busy life, especially in cities, people eat very quickly. At their desk, in the car, standing up, scrolling through their phone.
Which is something I am definitely guilty of sometimes.
Me too, though I always feel better when I actually sit down and pay attention to what I am eating.
There is even a movement now called mindful eating, which means paying full attention to your food while you eat. No screens, no distractions. Just you and your food.
I think we could all benefit from a bit more of that.
Agreed. Okay, I want to talk about something a little more personal now. Comfort food. Do our listeners know that expression? Comfort food. It means food that makes you feel happy, safe, or better when you are sad or tired or stressed.
Every culture has its version of comfort food, and it is always very personal too. What comforts one person might not comfort another.
What is your comfort food, David?
Honestly, toast. Plain, simple toast with butter. When I am tired or stressed or feeling a bit low, I make toast, sit on the sofa, and everything feels a little bit better.
That is the most British comfort food I have ever heard.
I know, I am very predictable. What about you?
Mine is soup. Any kind of soup, really. There is something about warm, liquid food that is just incredibly soothing. I think it goes back to being a child and being given soup when you were ill. It has that association of being looked after.
That makes complete sense. Comfort food is often connected to childhood, I think, to memories of safety and warmth.
Absolutely. And that is why it is so different for everyone. Because everyone had a different childhood, a different home, different smells and tastes that meant safety and love.
Listeners, what is your comfort food? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
Yes, please tell us. Now, let us do something fun. A little debate. Are you ready, David?
Always ready.
Debate question 1. Is it important to try the local food when you travel? Or is it okay to stick to food you know?
Oh, I have very strong opinions on this.
Of course you do.
I think trying local food when you travel is absolutely essential. It is one of the best ways to understand a culture. When you eat what local people eat, you understand something about their history, their climate, their values, their daily life. It is like reading a book about a place, but through your mouth.
Through your mouth. I love that. I agree with you, actually. And I also think it is a sign of respect in a way. When you try someone's food, you are saying, I am interested in your culture. I am open.
Exactly. And you almost always discover something wonderful that you would never have found otherwise.
Although, I will play devil's advocate here. Devil's advocate means arguing the other side even if you do not totally believe it. Some people have dietary restrictions, allergies, health conditions, and some people are just genuinely very sensitive to new foods and can feel quite unwell. So I do not think we should judge people who are cautious.
That is fair. as long as you are genuinely trying to be open and respectful, and you are not just refusing everything out of habit.
Agreed. Okay, debate question 2. Is cooking at home better than eating at restaurants?
This is harder for me, because I genuinely love restaurants. I love the experience, the atmosphere, being cooked for, trying things I could not make myself.
But
Cooking at home has something very special too. When you cook for someone, you are giving them your time and effort. It is an act of love, really.
I think cooking at home wins for everyday life, and restaurants are special occasions. You appreciate a restaurant more if you do not go every day.
I think that is exactly right. The less you do something, the more special it feels.
Okay, we are getting close to the end of our time today, which always makes me a little sad.
Me too. But before we say goodbye, let us leave our listeners with today's useful phrase. Are you ready, everyone?
Today's phrase is to have a sweet tooth. T-O-O-T-H. A sweet tooth. This means that you love sweet food. Cakes, chocolate, biscuits, desserts. For example, I have always had a sweet tooth. I cannot resist chocolate. Or, my brother does not have a sweet tooth at all. He prefers savory things. A sweet tooth. Can you use it in a sentence about yourself? Try it now. I have a sweet tooth. Or, I do not have a sweet tooth.
I absolutely have a sweet tooth, by the way. No question.
Same. Completely same. Okay, everyone. Before we go, please remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, like this video. It truly helps us reach more people who want to learn English, and it takes just 1 second.
Subscribe to Pause Café if you have not already. New episodes come out regularly, and we never want you to miss one.
And share this episode with anyone you know who is learning English. A friend, a colleague, a classmate, anyone who would enjoy learning through natural conversation. You would be making their day.
It has been such a pleasure talking food with you today. Food really does bring the whole world together, does it not?
It really does. Wherever you are, whatever you eat, food is love. Food is memory. Food is culture.
And on that beautiful note, thank you so much for joining us at Pause Café today.
Take care of yourselves, eat something delicious, and we will see you in the next episode.
Until next time, everyone, goodbye.
Bye-bye.